In this video, let us do Standard 7 Literature, Chapter 8, Go Kiss the World. All of you take out page number 110. Already we have learned the lesson, but let us do it. Go Kiss the World. Go Kiss the World is written by Subrat Bagchi. Subrat Bagchi was born and brought up in Orissa. He mostly spent his childhood in Orissa. He is the chief operating officer of the Mindtree Limited. He is the class in the year 2006 at IIM Bangalore. He has given all the credit of his upbringing by his mother and by his dying mother, and on her memory he has written a story, Go Kiss the World, which is published in 2008, and it is a bestseller during that time. Go Kiss the World, actually the author's autobiography. Autobiography means somebody writes your story. Autobiography means the person writes his own story. In this autobiographical narrative, author pays the tribute to his parents. He also gives an insight into how the strong and morals of simple principles followed by his family enabled him to achieve success in life. Okay, so he was brought up very in a simple family, and how he was enabled to achieve success. All the things he has given the credit to his upbringing by his parents, and how I was the last child of a small-time government servant in a family of 5 brothers. My earlier memory of my father is that of a district employment officer in Koraput, Orissa. There was no electricity, no primary school nearby, and water did not flow out of the tap. As a result, I did not go to school until the age of 8. I was homeschooled. So he was telling it was his earlier memory. He remembered that his father was transferred to a small town of Koraput district, where he was working as a district employment officer, and where there was no electricity that time, no primary school, no water flows from the tap, etc. As a result, he did not attend any school and he was homeschooled. That means he was studying at home. My mother had come as a refuse. Refuse means a person who migrates from other place, from East Bengal. She was a matriculate when she married my father. My parents set the foundation of my life and value system that makes me what I am now. So he, as I told you, has given all the credit to his parents, his upbringing, okay, to his parents. So he is telling that my upbringing by my parents, what I am today, because of my mother and father. I am now, and since he is the last child of his parents, that means he is having 5 brothers. Among the 5 brothers, he is the youngest child. I am now, and largely defines what success means to me today. As a district employment officer, my father was given a jeep by the government. While he could use the jeep to commute to his office, my father refused, saying that it was not his jeep but the government's jeep. He would walk to his office. The jeep driver was treated with respect due to any order of member of my father's office. So he remembered that when his father was employed as a district officer, he has been given a jeep to commute. Commute means to do the communication to his office, but he did not use that. He used to walk to his office, and you can see the humility of his father from that time. Okay, and they have given, all the family members, including his father, given due respect to the jeep driver. Our day used to start with the family huddling around my mother's chula. Chula means the gas where earthen fire they used to cook, so that is known as chula. An earthen fireplace that would be built at each place of posting where she would cook for the family. Okay, the morning routine started with tea As the brew was served, father would ask us to read aloud the editorial page. Okay, so morning tea will be served to everyone, and during that time while they were having tea, father will ask. That time newspaper reading was a very big thing. Now also people read, but okay, so the newspaper reading, the father will ask to read the editorial page of the Statesman or the Mapsoil edition, delivered one day late. That means they were living in a remote place that used to become one day late. We did not understand much of what we read, but the ritual was meant for us to know that the world was larger than Koraput, and the English I speak today, despite having studied in an Oriya medium school, has to do with this routine. Okay, so he is telling that we were getting that newspaper daily edition one day late because they were living in an interior place, and while they were reading, it was a ritual for them. Every day they will read the newspaper loud, that to the editorial page. Okay, so that time the author was telling, that time we did not understand what we are reading, but the English we have read, because since I am Oriya medium school, but I can speak the way I am speaking now because of my upbringing, because the reading of newspaper, the editorial page. After reading the newspaper aloud, we were told to fold it neatly. That means not to throw it here, there. You fold it neatly. Father taught us a simple lesson. He used to say you should leave your newspaper and your toilet the way you expect to find it. That means all of you should fold it properly, and while you are using the toilet, you clean it properly, and as if the other people will not have any problem while using it. Okay, so that lesson was about showing the consideration to others. That means you don't think about yourself. I read, I threw it, I used the toilet, I'm not splashing water or flushing it or something. Okay, but that means you are taking care of the other people who will use that. So that kind of habit they have been developed from their childhood, which was taught by his parents. Okay. Being a small children, we were always enamored with a advertisement in the newspaper for transistors radio. We did not have one, so that time newspaper advertisement was very much interesting for them, since they do not have any kind of exposure like nowadays we are having with the TV, network, internet, mobile phone, etc. So that time it was a great thing. So they did not have a radio, so we did not have one. We saw other people with radios, and each time there was an advertisement for Philips, Murphy or Bush radios. We would ask father, when could we get one? So while they were saying, the other people were using, so the advertisement speak about the Philips or Murphy or Bush radio. So as children, they were very much eager to get one. So they used to ask their father, when we will get one radio for our house. Each time my father would reply that we did not need one because he already had 5 radios. So whom he was telling 5 radios? The children, the 5 brothers. He was telling we did not need any radio in my house. We are already have 5 radio, alluding to his 5 sons. That means telling to his 5 sons or addressing to his 5 sons as radio. We also did not have a house of our own and could occasionally ask father to have one, when like others we would live in our own house. So he is telling, that means you can understand that he was having a very simple and below average life. So he said, so when people used to have their own house and they did not have one, sometimes they, as children with curiosity, they used to ask when we will have our own house. So he would give a similarly reply, we do not need a house of our own. I already have 5 houses. Again the father will very interestingly will reply that, why should I need a house of my own? Because I already have 5 houses. So whom he was considering houses? To his 5 sons. He replies did not gladden our hearts. Nonetheless, we learned that it is important not to measure personal success and the sense of well-being through material possessions. Okay, so whatever answer he was saying, that it was not gladden us, because since they were also all kids and children, so it was not giving them much of happiness, but they understood that whatever thing we have, we should be happy within that, and we should not be after the material possessions. Government houses seldom came with fences. Mother and I collected the twigs to build a small fence around the house. Generally, the father was a government employee, so it comes generally the fences, means in the boundary kind of thing, with twigs, not with the concrete or something. So he and his mother, since he was the youngest child, so he was much closer to his mother, they used to collect twigs to make a fence. She had also planted some seedling which began to bloom. Okay, so mother also has planted some seedling which began to bloom. Just at the time my father transfer order came. So when the seedling began to bloom, that's the time that father has got a transfer. A few neighbors asked my mother why she was planting seeds that would not benefit the next occupant. Okay, that would be benefit for the next occupant. So the neighbors used to tell my mother, like, why are you working hard that you will not enjoy it? It is you are giving for the next occupant. She said, I must create a bloom on a desert, and whenever I am given a new place, I must leave it more beautiful than what I had inherited. Okay, so my mother used to answer them that whatever I got, like a desert, I can create it a bloom, and whatever I have inherited, I can make it much more better place for the next occupant to live in. That was my first lesson in success. It is not about what you create for yourself, it is what you leave behind that defines success. According to the author, who is the author? Subrat Bagchi is telling that was my first lesson for success. What was that? That was my first lesson to the success. It is not about what you create for yourself, it is what you leave behind that defines success. Okay, so what you leave, what people will talk about you, that is only called success according to him. Okay, so we will continue the next bit in our next video. Thank you.